Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. UFC 322 was one of those nights that really hit me right in the gut as a UFC fan. I mean, I hyped myself up for weeks, I studied every angle, and I even dropped multiple breakdowns on why my guy was gonna pull it all off. And then the fight happened, and reality checked me in a way that I just didn't see coming. Yup, that was me last night, and I went in fully backing Jack Della Maddalena, thinking that this was going to be his moment, thinking that he was going to be the one to shock the world, and instead, I got front row seats to one of the most dominant performances Islam Makhachev has ever put on. And, it was frustrating, it was fascinating, and, it was honestly a little heartbreaking, but it was also one of those fights that, makes you sit back, breathe, and really appreciate just how wild this sport can truly be. And I just gotta stand on it. Because the truth is, watching it live was one thing, but watching it back, that's when everything started to make sense. I mean, I'm talking about the leg kicks, the control, the pressure, and the timing. And as much as it stung me to see my boy lose, I can't just sit here and pretend as if Islam Makhachev didn't do something special. So this video is really just going to be me breaking it all down. My honest reactions, what I got wrong, what Islam got right, what Jack Della Maddalena struggled with, and where both guys go from here after a fight that genuinely shifted the entire welterweight landscape. And most importantly of all, I was wrong. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so you can help me reach 3,000 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look, man, I'm not gonna lie, this one hurts to talk about, bruh. And I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even want to make this video, but I mean, I'm still sitting here, still trying to wrap my head around what I just watched, because I genuinely did not think UFC 322 was going to play out like that, at all. And I'm saying this as someone who's been a fan of Jack Della Maddalena for such a long time. I mean, I backed him, made breakdowns for him, and even laid out reasons on why I believe that he'd be the one to shock the world and hand Islam Makhachev his first real loss in years. And then the fight happened, and it was the complete opposite of what I expected. And you see, going back and rewatching it, I'm just like, yikes, what happened? Because on paper, Jack Della Maddalena had all the tools. I mean, he had the boxing, the timing, the counters, the scrambling ability, as well as the composure. But yet, once those cage doors closed, it felt like something was missing. Like, he was there physically, but not fully there mentally, I don't know, bruh. Maybe it was the pressure of the moment that got to him. Maybe Islam neutralized him instantly, or maybe it was the switch stances, the leg kicks, or the wrestling threat, or maybe even just a mix of everything, honestly. But what I do know is that Islam Makhachev came in there with the perfect game plan and executed it flawlessly, and made Jack Della Maddalena look like he wasn't even able to get out of first gear. And look, let me just say this straight up so no one gets it twisted. I am not here making excuses or trying to cop please. My boy lost a clean, clear 50-45 all across the board. And honestly, if you really watched how that fight went down, it's kind of hard to even pretend that it was anything but pure domination from Islam Makhachev. And yeah, I'm disappointed, of course, but I'm not delusional, and if you're gonna be talking about this sport, you've gotta keep it real. Islam Makhachev did his thing, and I can't even act as if I didn't warn myself, because in my 5 reasons why Islam could beat JDM video, my literal reason number 1 was Islam Makhachev's wrestling foundation as well as his top control, and boy oh boy was that pretty much the entire fight. I mean, it was like watching a live action demonstration of Dagestani pressure 101. Islam chained his takedowns together beautifully. I mean, I'm talking about the single legs, double legs, trips, body locks, whatever he wanted, he got. And once he got that first takedown, his control wasn't just good, but it was kind of absurd. I mean, Jack Della Maddalena usually has some of the best scrambling instincts in the entire division, but Islam Makhachev shut every single one down before it even started. And, I saw a lot of people online after the fight calling it a lay and pray, and I've got to be honest, that's just a lazy take, because when you're fighting a dude like JDM who can take your head clean off with one perfectly timed shot or one perfectly timed counter, you're not standing in boxing range to try to prove a point. I mean, look what happened to Leon Scott. That's stupid, and Islam Makhachev fought the smart fight. He fought the strategic fight, and even on the feet, it wasn't like he was just doing nothing. I mean, he was landing those leg kicks that were super essential, the uppercuts, left hands, and controlling the distance beautifully. And, even during the post-fight presser, Islam Makhachev literally said that both Khabib as well as Javier Mendez came up with the game plan, and he just followed it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do when you're fighting a guy like Jack Della Maddalena. Plus, I'd kind of be a hypocrite if I praised Khamzat Chimaev for dominating Dricus Du Plessis with elite grappling, but then turn around and then hated on Islam Makhachev for doing the same thing to my boy JDM. So, I've kind of have to keep the same energy all around the board, Now, one thing I'll give Jack Della credit for, and something that not a lot of people are even talking about, is his submission defense in there with Islam Makhachev. I mean, people don't understand how insane it is that Islam Makhachev had him in all the submission holds known to man. I mean, I'm talking about his signature modified darces, guillotine threads, kimuras, RNC setups, everything. And Jack Della defended every single one of them. And, most fighters kind of break under that type of pressure, but Jack didn't, all things considered. But even then, the problem was still the same. Islam Makhachev's pressure is just absolutely suffocating, and I mean, his strength is crazy, his positional awareness is ridiculous, and Jack Della just couldn't scramble because Islam wouldn't give him an inch, not even one. And it was like watching someone wrestle with a weighted blanket strapped to their back. And that's why the final result, a 50-45 across all three judges, wasn't a shock, and it's just the truth. And Islam Makhachev is now the new welterweight champion of the world, as well as the 11th double champion in UFC history. And he is now tied Anderson Silva's legendary 16-fight winning streak. And, at the end of the day, that's really not something you can hate on. I mean, that's just greatness. And yeah, while it is a sad day for me as a JDM fan, at the same time, you've got to respect history when it's right in front of you. I mean, Islam made the dream that both Khabib as well as Abdullah Manap had for him a reality, and that's special, man, and that's legacy stuff right there, and that's the kind of thing that we'll be talking about for decades. So I can't truly be mad at the entirety of the situation, Now, the big question is, what's next? Because if UFC 322 proved anything, it's that the welterweight division is going through a straight up earthquake right now. I mean, earlier on the card, we saw Carlos Prates absolutely flatline stiffen Leon Edwards in round 2. Michael Morales absolutely smoked Sean Brady in the first, which I didn't see coming, and now both guys are calling for a title shot. Meanwhile, Marty Fake Newsman has been begging for his shot back at the title for months now, but after what Morales and Prates just did, Marty's gonna have to earn his way back. I mean, the division's too stacked now, and it's too competitive, but Islam Makhachev does want his next fight to be Marty for legacy reasons, so who knows what the UFC is gonna do next. But honestly, if I had to lean toward what's fair, I think Michael Morales is probably the most deserving out of the whole bunch. I mean, he's undefeated, he's young, he's hungry, and he just knocked out the former #1 contender in Sean Brady in round 1. That's absolutely insane, and with Islam Makhachev mentioning that he's going to stay at 170 to continue to defend his belt, I do see that as a potential fight in both of their futures. But let me also be real about something else, because after watching Islam Makhachev dominate Jack Della Maddalena the way he did, it's kind of hard to picture anyone else within the 170-pound division beating him right now. I mean, his grappling, his IQ, his pressure, it's all beyond phenomenal right now, and it kind of just felt as if I was looking at a guy jump into another class of his own. No glaze. Like, he's no longer one of the best, but actually operating on his own exclusive level where we've only seen a handful of guys ever reach. But there's only one other guy I do think has a true, real chance against this current stage of Islam Makhachev. You guessed it. It's Ilia El Matador Topuria. And look, I know, that sounds crazy, and it's super unrealistic and unlikely that Islam Makhachev goes back down to the 155-pound division again. And stylistically, it's gonna be a wild fight, but I've been saying this for a while now, that Ilia Topuria is one of the few guys that brings that combination of, not only explosiveness, nuclear KO ability, but grade A elite grappling awareness that could genuinely trouble Islam Makhachev. And honestly, at this point, he's the only other guy on the roster that I can truly trust who won't get dominated by Islam wherever the fight goes. And, even after the fight with JDM, Ilia Topuria didn't stay quiet, and he called Islam Makhachev out and, even took some shots at JDM, some unnecessary shots, which I did not agree with whatsoever. But it was Ilia Topuria, so, I've kind of got to let it slide. But, I am going to save that whole conversation for another video because there's a lot to say there. But as for Jack Della Maddalena, this ain't the end for him. Not even close. And, honestly, I don't even think he should be losing any stock here either. I mean, he's not even 30 years old yet, and he wasn't even supposed to be the champ. I mean, he kind of skipped over the line after Shitrat pulled out of the Bilal fight and the UFC needed someone new to the title picture in order to step in. And, he took an insane risk, became the undisputed champion of the world, and stepped into a super fight with one of the greatest fighters of this era for his first ever title defense. Like, wow, just even hearing myself say that, we've kind of have to cut the man some slack. I mean, most guys aren't even ranked at 29 years of age, let alone fighting Islam Makhachev at Madison Square Garden to defend his chip. Crazy. But, all is good because Jack Della Maddalena is going to regroup, come back, and show exactly why he was the undisputed welterweight champion in the first place. And I genuinely believe that he is going to be able to run through a lot of these top 10 guys once he resets. I mean, I'm talking about guys like a Sean Brady, maybe a Shitrat once he's fully healed, and even a matchup against Carlos Prates or even a Joaquin Buckley could go down. All those fights make sense, and Jack Della Maddalena is going to remain victorious once again. So, yeah, I was completely wrong about this one. I mean, I thought JDM presented the perfect stylistic matchup to finally expose Islam Makhachev's Achilles heel. And, I thought that he'd stuff enough takedowns, land enough counters, and force Islam into panic wrestling and then break him down in the later rounds. But Islam Makhachev shut it all down and proved that he's not just great, but he's historically great. And, as a fan of the sport, even though my guy lost, I've got to respect that. So, congrats to the new undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Islam Makhachev. And to my boy Jack Della, this is just another chapter and not the end of the book. Come back soon, champ. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know in the comment section below what are your guys' honest reactions to the outcome and aftermath of UFC 322, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. And what do you guys think is next for Islam Makhachev as the new double champ, as well as the undisputed welterweight champion of the world? And for JDM, who do you think he fights next? Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.